Grade 10 Agricultural Sciences. Have you ever wondered how plants make their own food without cooking or eating like animals? The answer is a remarkable process called photosynthesis. Photosynthesis is the process that allows green plants to make their own food using sunlight, water, carbon dioxide, and chlorophyll, the green pigment found in their leaves. During this process, plants produce glucose, which is their food, and release oxygen into the atmosphere. Without photosynthesis, plants would not be able to grow, develop flowers, produce fruits, or form seeds. Every crop that farmers grow, from maize and wheat to vegetables and fruit trees, depends on this process to survive. Photosynthesis is also important for people and animals because it releases the oxygen we breathe every day while providing the food that forms the beginning of almost every food chain on Earth. As we continue, we will discover exactly how photosynthesis takes place inside a leaf, and why this amazing natural process is so important for agriculture and all living organisms. Every photosynthesis process begins with sunlight. The green leaves of a plant contain chlorophyll, the green pigment that absorbs light energy from the sun. As sunlight falls on the leaves, chlorophyll captures this energy and prepares the plant for the next stage of photosynthesis. This light energy powers the chemical reactions that allow the plant to make its own food. Without sunlight, photosynthesis cannot take place, and the plant would not be able to produce the food it needs to grow and survive. Now that the plant has captured light energy, the next step is for the roots. Every plant needs water before it can make its own food. The process begins in the soil, where the roots absorb water through tiny root hairs. Once the water enters the roots, it travels upward through the stem in special tubes called the xylem. The xylem carries water all the way to the leaves, where it is needed for photosynthesis. Now that the leaves have received water, they are ready for the next important ingredient needed to make food. Let's explore how the next ingredient reaches the leaves. As sunlight shines on the plant and water reaches the leaves, carbon dioxide enters from the air through tiny openings called stomata. Inside the leaves, carbon dioxide combines with water using the energy from sunlight. This important step allows the plant to continue making its own food. Photosynthesis is now well underway inside the leaf cells. Let's explore what happens next inside the leaf. Using the energy captured from sunlight, the leaf combines water and carbon dioxide to produce glucose, which is the plant's food. At the same time, oxygen is formed as a byproduct and is released into the air through tiny openings called stomata. Glucose is then used to provide energy, support growth, and can also be stored for later use. The glucose produced during photosynthesis is now put to work. The plant uses glucose as its main source of energy. This energy helps it grow strong roots, healthy stems, green leaves, beautiful flowers, and develop fruits and seeds. Not all of the glucose is used immediately. The extra glucose is stored in different parts of the plant, including the leaves, stems, roots, seeds, and fruits, ready for future use. Much of this stored glucose is converted into starch, which acts as the plant's food reserve. When there is little sunlight, during cold weather, or in other unfavorable conditions, the stored starch is changed back into glucose. This provides the energy the plant needs to survive and continue growing until conditions improve. This is how plants make sure they always have a supply of food and energy when they need it most. The journey doesn't end here. It continues every single day. As long as a plant is alive, it keeps carrying out photosynthesis. Day after day, it absorbs sunlight, takes up water through its roots, and collects carbon dioxide from the air. These raw materials are continuously converted into glucose, the plant's food. The glucose provides energy, supports growth, repairs damaged cells, and is stored for future use whenever the plant needs it. At the same time, oxygen is released into the atmosphere, providing the fresh air that humans, animals, and many other living organisms depend on for survival. This never-ending cycle keeps plants healthy, strengthens ecosystems, and helps sustain life on Earth. Every sunrise gives plants another opportunity to make food, release oxygen, and continue supporting life all around us. Now that you've explored the complete process, let's check your understanding of photosynthesis. Now that we've explored how plants make food, let's bring the entire process together using the photosynthesis equation. This simple equation shows everything the plant needs and everything it produces. 6 molecules of carbon dioxide from the air combine with 6 molecules of water absorbed by the roots. Using light energy captured by chlorophyll in the leaves, the plant converts these raw materials into glucose, which provides food and stored energy for growth. At the same time, 6 molecules of oxygen are produced and released into the atmosphere through the stomata. The complete photosynthesis equation is 6 carbon dioxide plus 6 water, in the presence of light energy and chlorophyll, produce 1 molecule of glucose and 6 molecules of oxygen. This equation summarizes the entire process of photosynthesis and shows how plants transform sunlight into food while releasing the oxygen needed by most living organisms. We've explored each step of photosynthesis and discovered how this amazing process takes place. Now, let's bring everything together by understanding why photosynthesis is so important. It enables plants to produce their own food, giving them the energy they need to grow, develop, and survive. As plants make food, they also release oxygen into the atmosphere, providing the oxygen that animals and humans need to breathe. At the same time, plants absorb carbon dioxide from the air, helping to reduce greenhouse gases and support a healthier environment. Photosynthesis is the foundation of every food chain and food web because it provides the food and energy that sustain life on Earth. It also helps keep ecosystems balanced by supporting healthy plants, animals, and natural environments. Most importantly, people depend on photosynthesis every day. It provides food, medicines, useful materials, and the oxygen we breathe. In short, photosynthesis produces food, releases oxygen, removes carbon dioxide, supports life on Earth, keeps ecosystems balanced, and makes life possible for plants, animals, and humans. Let's bring everything together by reviewing the complete process of photosynthesis. Photosynthesis takes place mainly in the leaves, inside tiny structures called chloroplasts, where chlorophyll captures the sun's light energy. The roots absorb water from the soil and transport it through the stem to the leaves. At the same time, carbon dioxide enters the leaves through tiny openings called stomata. Using light energy, the plant combines water and carbon dioxide to produce glucose, which serves as food for growth, repair, and energy storage. During this process, oxygen is released into the atmosphere through the stomata. The process can be summarized by the photosynthesis equation. 6CO2 plus 6H2O plus light energy right arrow C6H, 12O6 plus 6O2. The key idea to remember is that photosynthesis provides food for plants, releases oxygen for living organisms to breathe, removes carbon dioxide from the atmosphere, and helps support life on Earth. Remember, without photosynthesis, plants could not make their own food, animals would have no plants to eat, and there would be very little oxygen available for life. Let's check what you've learned about photosynthesis. Read each question aloud, pause the video, and answer it before revealing the correct answer. Give yourself 1 point for every correct answer. Question 1. What is photosynthesis? Answer. Photosynthesis is the process by which green plants use light energy to make their own food. Question 2. Name the raw materials or inputs needed for photosynthesis. Answer. The raw materials are carbon dioxide and water. Question 3. Where in the plant does photosynthesis take place? Answer. Photosynthesis takes place in the leaves, inside tiny structures called chloroplasts. Question 4. What is the main food product made by the plant during photosynthesis? Answer. The main food product is glucose. Question 5. What gas is released into the air during photosynthesis? Answer. Oxygen is released into the air. Question 6. Write the balanced chemical equation for photosynthesis. Answer. 6 molecules of carbon dioxide plus 6 molecules of water, using light energy, produce 1 molecule of glucose and 6 molecules of oxygen. Equation. 6CO2 plus 6H2O plus light energy right arrow C6H 12O6 plus 6O2. Well done for completing this lesson on photosynthesis. Keep practicing these key concepts because they form an important foundation for grade 10 agricultural sciences. Keep learning, keep growing, and I'll see you in the next lesson.